Hey there, Geanie Beans. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. You did the right thing. You know you did the right thing. Make sure to like, comment, share, and only subscribe if you're really down to subscribe. You don't gotta subscribe, you don't want to. I'm just happy you clicked on the video, boo, okay? If you do decide to subscribe though, make sure you hit that notification bell so you updated with all the videos that I'm gonna be downloading because it's about to be hot. If you clicked on this video, then you already know what it's about. I'm going to be talking about the Netflix show The Circle US, because there was one in the UK that's actually the original one, and they brought it over here to the US of A and slapped that hoe on Netflix. I've been waiting and craving to talk about it because I just have so much why do I love reality TV so much? Like, this really sucks. Just to note, I did this on purpose. I kind of gave myself the really over accentuated eyebrows on purpose. So if this is getting on your nerves, sorry, not sorry. So for those of you who do not know what The Circle is a reality TV / game show that takes place in an apartment building. Okay, it starts off with 8 members, 8 players, and the idea of the game is to make it to the end because there's a $100,000 prize. Okay, you're going in there basically alone. You're not alone, but you're going in there alone, secluded from everybody, from all outside. You know how these reality TV shows work. No cell phones, no nothing, none of that. You know how we are consumed with social media and different platforms. The Circle is the sole social media platform that everybody can communicate with. It's the only way that they communicate with each other. The flip side to that is you don't know who the hell you're talking to, like, at all. You don't know who you're talking to. You could be talking to a grandma or 18-year-old that is on their way to college. Like, you don't know who you're talking to. Crazy thing about this show is that yours truly, yes, I actually applied to be on this show because when I saw it, that they were looking for people on Instagram, by the way, I was just, doing my little boring scroll. You're bored on Instagram. And I saw it. I'm like, The Circle, what's The Circle? Did a little research, saw that it was a show out in the UK. And when I saw the premise of the show, I was like, oh my goodness, I got to try this. This is so cool. It's so genius because it's showing how we truly are when it comes to social media. There's nothing social about us. And that's the irony of it. You're secluded and you're judging people based on pictures and slight videos, but you really don't know who the hell you're talking to or who's talking to you and none of that. And it's just judgment all the time. So I was just like, this is so cool. I have to do this. So I made my little video and obviously I didn't get picked. This first season, to me, I would call them kind of like the loyal group. Like they were really loyal. This show is really hard because any game show is hard because you don't know who's going to do what. Everyone wants the same thing. So you don't know their intentions. And that's bad enough on a show where you're with people face to face. Imagine not being face to face with these people. It's even more grimy and you just don't know what the hell is going on. Day 1, they get into the house. You have 8 people in the house. You have, I think his name was Joey. You had Joey. You had Alana. You had Seabrun, who played as his girlfriend. There was just so many people, so many different dynamics, so many different personalities. Okay, so, oh, and you also had Shabrun. I'm so sorry if I messed up your name, but they called him Shuby for short because they didn't know how to pronounce his name. But I think it's Shaboom. The first night, how it works is everybody uploads their profiles. They pick their pictures that they want to put up. Usually you try to pick a nice picture. That's what we do in real life, right? Our Facebook profiles, very seldom we have an ugly picture up there. You know what I'm saying? You put your little, I don't know, status or slogan or welcome, whatever you want to put up there. Hold on. I forgot to remind y'all, I got my wine right here too, so this is about to be good. Once everyone votes, the circle tallies up all the scores and it puts them in rank from top, which is 1, to bottom, which is about, what, 7 or 8? 8 people, so it's 8. The first 2 people are going to be the influencers. So the influencers have the power to basically decide who's going home. Of course, going into the house, you don't know this. You're just like, nah, 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 let me vote for this person, blah, blah, blah. In the first vote, the person that was at the bottom was Shabroom. Hold on, let me just see how to pronounce his name. Okay, people, his name is Shabam. It's Shabam. Shabam was at the very, very bottom. And the sad thing about it, as I was watching it, I even predicted that he was going to be the last one. Because, you know, he's just regular. He looks like he's a nerd. Oh, there's nothing. And it just shows how psychologically we are fucked up in how we judge people. But it was interesting how he started at the bottom and ended up damn near at the top. And I'll talk about that a little bit later because Shabam really could have won the whole thing. There was a good point that I saw that the King of Reads posted not too long ago when he did his review on this show. And he let you know that it's from his perspective. So if you had a problem with it, girl, you can kick rocks. But he brought up a good point that I didn't really, like, subconsciously it was there, but I didn't even acknowledge it myself. And it was kind of up. I thought about it as I was watching it, but it didn't stick to me because I was so deep into the show. But that was that there was kind of some racism here. I mean, you can't deny it. It's subliminal. It's kind of underlying, and people just like, oh, it's nothing. Oh, you're just trying to pull the black card here. But if you really pay attention to what you're watching, you really look closely, you can see the state in which our minds truly are. And it's just real. It's not even trying to start drama or be like, I have a problem with this all the time. It really is there in front of us just by Shabroom being at the bottom from the beginning. Then moving on, as people started to get eliminated, the people that were replaced weren't really that diverse. And it's funny because as I was watching this, I'm like, oh yeah, someone's new coming. And I would always laugh like, oh, ha, ha, he's funny, she's funny, this and that. But then towards the end, when the last pair came, which was the mom and the son duo, I was like, wait a minute. Like, where's the Asian person? And are there any more black people coming? And like, it just wasn't diverse as far as the replacements. And it really could have been better. So I do have to agree with him on that, is that we are just, I wish The Circle and Netflix probably would have did better with that. I don't know why they didn't choose. I mean, hello, I was here. I could have easily been a replacement. But you know what? I'm not going to cry over spilled milk because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They chose who they chose, you know. And I could just try again next year. Or maybe not. Maybe not. They're probably not going to pick me. You can be yourself. You can act like yourself and be genuine. Or you can play as someone else. One of my favorite ones in there was Karen from the Boogie Down Bronx. You know what's up. Karen played as Mercedes. What I want to know is, where do they get these people's pictures? Like, are they popular people on Instagram and stuff? Because then what if somebody else notices like, oh, that's not so-and-so, that's so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they pick what pictures they're going to use to catfish? But anyway, Mercedes played Karen played as Mercedes. And when I tell you, I had a feeling Karen wasn't going to make it. I knew Mercedes wasn't going to make it because she was so straightforward. That's that New York vibe and assertive. And the other girls weren't feeling that. And it was just so interesting to me how you saw how Rebecca played safe. Seabrun was, we'll get to Seabrun, but there was no threats when it came to Rebecca. But when it came to Mercedes, yo, Samantha wasn't feeling Mercedes at all. Like, she was not feeling her at all. You could tell she wanted her out, okay? You can kind of see, you could feel the vibes. You know, when we read things, we take it hold on, are you guys straight? When we read things that people write, you can't control how the other person takes it and stuff like that. So Mercedes was kind of just like too straightforward, and I knew it wasn't going to work. When it comes to this show, leave a comment down below. Is it best to play yourself, or do you think it's more of advantage to play as someone else? Now, like I said, I was going to get to Seabrun. Seabrun played as his girlfriend, Rebecca, who is not really Rebecca because her name is something else. It's weird. But he played as his girlfriend. And when I tell you, they were on to him. I think after a while, when you're in the house, especially from the beginning, you start to catch on to certain things. But then you're like, oh, they've been here since the beginning. It showed that the people that were coming in were starting to fish it out, which was interesting to me because the last guy and his mom, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but the last guy, the other like Italian guy with his mom was on Rebecca. Like he knew. He was like, no, that's a fucking catfish. And I just didn't understand how people couldn't see, like, especially when Rebecca was talking about my whole left side. Now, granted, he was trying to take back from what he remembers from his girlfriend when she goes through her menstrual. But I was like, this just made me want to be in the game so freaking bad. Like, I know when you're in the moment, it's different because you're locked away in your apartment. You have no communication with anyone. I don't know. I just feel like I would be able to cut them out. Like, no, you fake, you fake, you fake, you fake. I don't know. But Seabrun, he actually did a really, Seabrun. I keep on saying Seabrun and mixing his name with Shabum. Shabam. One thing that got on me, and please tell me I'm not the only one, is he would talk as if he were typing. Message. I do not know how to feel right now, but it is very, very nice that you care about me so much. You are such an amazing person. Said.
Crazy cramps get really bad.
What? Was that not getting on anybody else's nerves? Like, you could tell someone like Shabum was genuine because of how he said it. Like, that's the kind of person I am. Like, when I say certain things, you can tell, like, it's not fabricated. You can just, this show is all about connection. But somehow, some way, like, Rebecca made it all the way, and I had to give it to him. He was really one of the ones that I enjoyed watching as far as laughing and stuff, but I just couldn't stand how it was almost like he was thinking as he was saying, and he kind of had to think because once you say send, that's it. Chris was actually one of my faves. I feel like I'm a combination of like Chris and Shabam. You know, Chris was very like, hey bitches, but Chris's tactic, he would get in and get the tea, honey, and then he would get right out. Okay, gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Gotta hop in the shower, bitch, you know? Like, he would get in and he would get out. Like, he really to Mercedes too. You see what I'm saying? Real recognize real. Really like Chris. Really thought Chris. Honestly, I thought it should have been either Chris to win or Shabam. But Joey was a real one too, but Joey was hating on Antonio in the beginning. Like, you saw it. Like, Samantha couldn't stand Mercedes and Joey couldn't stand Antonio. And it just seems like, why do you hate Antonio? And all Antonio kept on saying is that he was a professional basketball player. That's that alpha male thing. Like, Antonio was, honestly, at the time, the hottest guy in there. So it was almost like a competition thing I kind of took out of it. But it was just crazy because like he didn't feel that way about any other guys that came in. Like when the other guy came in that has a wife and a cat, but he played as a catfish. Andrew, I think the name was. I'm not sure. Andy, Andrew, but whatever. That guy was nice looking, and he wasn't as aggressive or as he was when it came to Antonio. So I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. I wasn't in the house. I don't know how it feels. Other things could have happened in between that we didn't see, darling. I just think overall, like, it's a really mind. Now, here's the thing that I want to talk about towards the end that has to deal with, does loyalty get you to the end, or does being fake get you to the end? Now, Seaburn, these names, I swear. Seaburn kind of made it towards the end, but he fell short. And it was crazy because he would always make it to like almost the top 2, but he would always fall short. Remember, we all have like energy. We all have energy. I truly believe that we all have ways to connect through our aura, even through words. And even though we're using artificial intelligence to communicate, that energy still speaks through. So there's a reason why he kept on falling short. This game definitely has to do with, is there a connection? You know what I'm saying? And what makes it kind of up is that you can have a connection. You're still going to have a connection with someone, but are they who they say they are? Are they who they are portraying in front of your face? You can have a connection with me. I can have a connection with you, but you might be looking at something else. I was kind of like bummed out that the plus size girl ended up just saying, I just want to be myself. Girl, don't go into the game then. Like, what the, like, if you're not going to be yourself, like, play that shit. But then it's also cool to see the dynamic, I guess. I mean, people have a change of heart. She's allowed to change her mind. But I was just like, no, don't do that. You have... What? She didn't make it. I think she could have made it farther as the catfish that she was if she hadn't said anything. But I guess at the end of the day, there was more respect. But, you know, it's a game. It's a game, guys. It's a game. So back to what I was saying. I'm sorry. I keep on going on a tangent. Here's the thing. Shaboom and Joey had such a close bond. Joey and Shaboom end up becoming really close throughout the game. They have a really good connection, start calling each other bro. When it comes down to the final vote, and this is the vote that's going to determine the winner, what happens? What happens? Shaboom gives Joey a high vote. Joey gives Shaboom a decent vote as well, but it's a little bit lower than what Shaboom gave Joey. If I am not mistaken, I am going off of like my memories here, and I don't feel like turning the shit on just to find out. But it's like, do you stay loyal till the end? Because when you stay loyal to the end, there's a possibility that you lose it. He did say on the final show, if there's anybody that I would be happy to lose to, it would be to you, Joey. And that's exactly what happened. And I think he probably kind of knew that, because when it comes to that final vote, you can be as genuine as you want to be throughout the whole game. But motherfucker, when it comes to that motherfucking final vote, you better put your biggest competition is the person that you have the biggest connection to. Like, what? And if you really like about that life and it's really something real, I would be the type that'd be like, you know what? Here's a little something, something from my winnings. You can't be sure that the other person is going to do that for you. You see what I'm saying? But the genuine person I am, I'm still going to vote accordingly. And then I'll be like, you know what, bro? Here's a little something, something. Just a little sprinkle of something. When you really get tied into it that way, you can end up sabotaging yourself. But I guess at the end of the day, I didn't have that experience. we all watching weren't with them. They have a bond for life that only they understand until the next season. And yeah, I guess that's just the way that it works. But tell me down below, would you play this game? Would you play it as yourself? Or would you catfish and play as someone else? Let me know. I'm not going to tell you what I would do, even though I said I'm a genuine person. You never know. If you haven't seen it yet, well, hopefully you didn't watch this whole thing if you haven't seen it yet. But I didn't tell you who won, so maybe it wasn't that much of a spoiler. No, I kind of did tell you who won. And you know, this was just a little rant just to get it off of my chest. But I actually really enjoyed the show, besides some of the obvious things. Hopefully they get it a little bit better next year and they have a little bit more diversity. But it really opens your eyes into how we think as a community, as a people, and where we are consciously. And we really do need to get it together. But I don't know. It's just a fun mind show to watch, in my opinion. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway. I've been doing this more than you.
I'm about to go, yay. I'm about to go, yay. I'm about to go, yay. Go fuck what you say. I'm about to go, yay. I'm about to go, yay.